Hi everyone, this is me, Davis. I'm the host for our little Q&A part two. We actually have a bunch of the team here today, and I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Tony Gillham and I am the CEO of Blue Dot Games.
Hi, I'm Kevin Green. I am an investor in Blue Dot Games.
And hi, I'm Chris Rickard, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer, Blue Dot Games. I fucked it up already. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect. As you can tell, we're doing this on the fly, but we finally got Chris here. We wanted to have him in last time. Like we said, we are all in different time zones, so this makes getting everybody together quite fun and interesting. Some people are drinking coffee, some maybe wine, who knows. But we got some questions we want to get out of the way. First being our newest member of the 83 development team, or more in this case, our new investor named Kevin. So Kevin, I guess the first thing we got to ask is, what made you want to invest in 83? It's quite a amount you gave us, and well, what made you want to get into this?
So really for me, there's both obvious and kind of less obvious reasons. My background is in finance for the better part of a decade. That's what I've been doing for a living. I have a bachelor's degree in finance as well. My full-time job, I'm a derivatives trader that focused on the semiconductor market. So I've been investing into like NVIDIA and AMD well before crypto and AI pushed them to the bounds that they're at now. And then from that allowed me to start getting into other forms of investing like private equity. And, eventually I figured why not try to start getting into things that I really enjoy. And being a gamer, I figured I would start looking for projects in that space. So eventually I think Blue Dot Games put out a call for playtesters. And I decided to apply to be a playtester, got accepted into that program, did a few different games on it, really enjoyed the game. And then one day Tony put out a call on the Discord saying we need testers to do a video because we're putting together a video for a potential, investment group. And I figured, what the heck, I'll just shoot him a message saying, hey, I am a qualified investor in the United States. Maybe there's something I can do to help out. And I guess the rest is kind of history from there. We kind of worked out a deal. I found out that the team was the guys who had made Rising Storm and Rising Storm 2, both games I grew up with. From there, I even have a personal kind of family connection with Rising Storm 2. My dad was actually a Vietnam vet and served from 1966 to 1972. So it is a nice personal connection to the game as well. But like I said, there's also the obvious, business reasons for it. I see that 83 fits into a very nice niche that the market is really missing right now. We haven't had a good, hardcore realism, but not so hardcore that you're the, walking sim Arma that takes 30 minutes just to get your guy set up. I'm a new dad, so I don't have a whole lot of time for gaming, and 83 with a 40 minute game time sounds perfect, and to have that accessible realism again is going to be great. So I think there's just a huge potential. We already have a great community from what I've seen on the Discord. So to me, it just kind of seemed like a no-brainer to get the project up and running and, get these guys some funding that they deserved and needed.
Dude, it's so great to hear like another because I did the same thing. I reached out to Tony to see how I could offer some help, right? And like you said, I actually want to bring this up because from our last time we did this, we brought up the walking simulator thing. I'd like to just quickly verify this. We're not talking that running around and doing long distance running is bad. We just like the fact that we can get into a game, have a realistic experience, and not waste time, right? We could all agree to that.
Oh yeah, I mean I love Arma and I love those games, but I don't have 2 to 3 hours to commit to them necessarily anymore.
Yeah.
So having a nice middle ground with 83 is, something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, from a business point of view, I think one of the things is that you're you're not only competing for a player's money or for a potential player's money, you're also competing for their time. You know, so many players now have got so many games on Steam. I know that I've got hundreds, and there are plenty that I haven't even played. So for me, it's quite important as well. You know, what investment of time do I need to get the experience that I want? And as you heard Kevin there just announce, which I don't know whether we mentioned it before, 30 to 40 minutes. That's kind of what we're aiming for there, you know, 30 to 40 minutes for a round.
Yeah. So obviously we got more questions. So another one, actually this one's for Chris. So Chris, you were here last time. Now you're here. We got some questions for you. So firstly, well, you're in the business side. You know, you're the co-founder. You're in operations business. You're the what's the acronym?
COO.
COO.
Yeah.
So Chris, what do you do?
It's a very good question. So I think I can start by giving a bit of context. I mean, when we first started talking about getting this project moving, Tony and I were going into many meetings with various industry companies and different people, and they were quite complimentary about the fact that there was a good blend between the two of us. I'm not from the dev industry. I mean, I started with the other company a couple of years before it was blown to smithereens, and you know, it's my first job in the industry, and I having been in technology for my entire career and an avid gamer since I was very, very small, it was really, really cool to be in that industry and to see how the games industry worked. So when we sort of set out on this project, I thought that it was quite handy that we had somebody on the commercial side of things, and it did seem to be the case that resonated with a lot of these people we spoke to. Didn't quite resonate with them enough for them to give us all of their money, but it resonated enough to think that, yeah, you know, having somebody who's got some commercial experience is a really good addition to the team. And I've run my own IT company for 10 years, so I've had to do all of the commercial parts of that as well, because I've been on my own doing that. And I sort of saw it as my role to really take on the boring back office stuff. And I kind of do, my IT skills are coming into play because I'm getting involved in the DevOps side of things as well. So that's keeping it interesting. But yeah, I mean, broadly speaking, I'm doing everything that isn't fun, and they get to go play games and do all the cool stuff, and I just get to sit around, you know, reading emails and not getting accepted into meetings. That's pretty much it.
I think as well, maybe if I could just jump in here, I think as well, one of the things that seems to be the case for the dynamic as I see it is that I've got a tendency to rush around trying to make things happen. You know, I tend to get a little bit manic in that respect. And yeah, it makes things happen. And I'd say that Chris's job is very much to make sure that the things that happen aren't bad. You know, kind of act as a little bit of a handbrake there and keep things grounded in the sort of commercial sense. That certainly seems to be the case.
I feel like a care home worker sometimes.
That's it, yeah, exactly.
I was going to tell a story. I was going to say that when Tony and I first met, I realised that there was actually a care home for retired devs. And I went there, and there was this slim, good-looking older man sitting in the corner, and next to him was Tony. And I hit a nurse over the head, stole their outfit, and then put Tony in a wheelchair and wheeled him out. And that's how we got together, and that's how this project started. No, not of course not.
Cool story, bro. Cool story.
You know, and I'll also say from an investment standpoint, you know, that's a major reason to invest into the company as well, is you see a dynamic team. They work together really well. They balance each other out really well. You know, you're not always looking at just the spreadsheets and all, you know, the bottom line and the dollars. You also have to look at the personalities that are within the team. And, you know, Tony and Chris, from what I've seen, they balance each other out really well and work really well together. So it was a nice, you know, factor in investing into the company as well.
Yeah. And if things do get out of whack, then Kevin can referee.
Yep. I can step in and start cracking the whip on him.
I
mean, just to something I'll add. My experience of the industry obviously started with antimatter games, and I was exposed to an awful lot of new business things, ideas, you know, and I found that a lot of the industry felt quite underdeveloped, if I can say that. I mean, I use the expression of it being a young industry, and I think it's true. I mean, we're only seeing the first people actually retiring from the games industry now, which is kind of really weird to think of. You know, in many other industries throughout the years, you've had that, you know, generations of different people come and go. So my kind of knowledge and experience is actually quite useful, I think, because I've seen quite a lot over my career, and quite a lot of what you see in this industry is happening sometimes for the first time.
Yeah.
And with projects and project management and development, perhaps less so on the funding side of things, but certainly on the rest of it, I've seen a lot already, being in the IT trenches, and now it's kind of here, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I've seen this happen before, so I feel like I'm bringing something to the table. That's my most important part of this anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that you guys have the funding, what's the plan for the next couple months, year? What's the plan moving forward? What are you guys trying to get to with the funding that we have now? And where's what's the dev team like? Is it grown, shrunk? What's going on?
Okay, well, maybe I can speak to that. Yeah, I mean, just to look back a little bit, the last year's been really hard. I don't know, the way I think of it is trying to get funding in the sort of games industry climate over the last year was a bit like crawling through the desert looking for water kind of thing. And essentially what's happened now with this input, with this investment from Kevin, we've now got the choice of, do we want still or do we want sparkling? You know, it's really been a game changer. We're able to explore options. We're able to take a look at getting building the team up. The team now, we have about 10 to a dozen developers, depending on how you look at it. Some of them are part-time working on this. And so essentially, with the amount of funding that we've got, we set ourselves a really simple goal, actually, which was something that frankly should have been done a long time ago, and that is to get a really, really good vertical slice, to get, if you like, a prototype that shows off all the systems as they should be to the world. And so in order to do that, we've hired a bunch of people, and I have to say it's been an absolute pleasure for me dealing with these people again, because one of the things I love about the games industry is you get a chance to deal with really smart, really committed and really passionate people. And another good thing about having lots of smart people around you is that very often they're pretty self-starterish as well, because with a small team like this, you know, you can't be spending a lot of time telling people what they have to do. You have to say, there's a system, go get it, sort it out. And the team, I have to say this, I'm absolutely thrilled with the way the team are rising to the challenge. When we have our production meetings now, our lead designer, Sturt, I swear I have seen the guy actually smile. And that's not some people that know, I love Sturt to bits, he's a lovely, lovely guy. But yeah, he you know, to me that's indicative of it's happening now. You know, it really is happening. It's been a game changer. It really has, and things are looking very, very positive for us right now, I would say.
What about you, Chris and Kevin? What do you guys want to achieve at the all this? Kevin, I'm sure you want to return.
I mean, yeah, there's the
Boy,
obvious
howdy.
goal of the return. I mean, just to see games that I enjoy getting made. You know, one thing that I'm kind of tired of seeing is like AAA studios either just, you know, re-skinning stuff and releasing it and charging $60, $70 for it that ends up being a flop. And, you know, I think the industry is ripe for some disruption here when it comes to different forms of investment and funding. I think there's, you know, it's ripe for disruption when it comes to just forming studios and teams. And, you know, a lot of it, if you can leverage your communities, and like I said before, we have a great community in 83. You know, a lot of them are Rising Storm 2 fans and, you know, Red Orchestra 2 fans. So to see that being able to come together, you know, it's just a lot of fun to be a part of a team that's creating that community.
On disruption, okay, I think something that's a feature of this project, for me certainly, is that we aren't doing things the normal way. And 83 is a game that's died twice and it's back. This is a new studio. We're not going to follow the norms, the established norms. Why should we? Who should anymore? So we'll do things in any way we need to make this happen, and within the realms of being legal, obviously. But the important thing is that we're raising eyebrows, and Tony can attest to this. We've raised some industry eyebrows even this week. We won't tell you what and who and how and why. But we are doing things. We're doing good things. We're raising eyebrows, and if we have to be disruptive, then we'll be a little bit disruptive just to get where we need to get. So, as I said, 83 is the game that isn't dying, won't die, and you're going to get it someday. So, just stay with us. And to the people on Discord, we can't tell you everything. We want to tell you stuff. Sometimes we can't tell you stuff. Plenty of stuff is happening. Right? Yeah, there's stuff going on. You'll know. When we can tell you, you'll know. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there's just one other thing I wanted to say as well, which is one of the things that has made getting funding quite difficult is so-called publishers who feel that they should be taking 100% recoup of revenue until they've got their money back, and possibly even beyond that, and then some really, really high percentage of recoup. And essentially, it's a very parasitic relationship, I think, is a way to do it. In fact, it's not even a very good parasite, because what parasite kills its host? I'd just like to say to any publishers out there that are looking at 100% recoup and 75% up until 6x,
Holy shit! Did that just happen, guys?
What? Sorry.
No, I love it.
I think you'll find there are a lot of people in the games industry who are trying to get games out there who have been confronted with publishing deals like that. Yeah. And I feel terrible for the people that are forced to take that deal just because they want to get the game out.
Back to the newness or the youngness of the industry again. People, creative people,
really?
sitting in a room being told,
really?
"We'll give you your $1 million, but we want $6 million back."
Yeah, exactly.
Not good.
Exactly.
Not good.
I mean, if you play a longer game, you may well get your $6 million back. But if you come in with some really aggressive recoup rate like that, then you're going to strangle your baby at birth. And
that's one thing I really appreciate about this team, is that there is so much freaking passion just to get like a project like this, even like resurrecting it and trying to get this going after all these like ups and downs. Mm-hmm. And I just love, like, Tony's just, I think Tony said it best.
I do hope you can use that. I really hope I hope that we've got the balls to use that one, because I mean that.
I'm looking at our background person. Am I going to get a thumbs up? Can we use that?
Well, this
we got a thumbs up.
We love you. We love you, man.
Just a word on passion, and this doesn't need to be used. But the point, I played on whatever it was, a Sega Mega Drive. I used to play the hockey game. It always used to be me playing Russia and my mate playing USA. When I beat him, which was very rarely, my mate would grab his controller and bite it. And there's the passion, that's the passion of games. And yeah, I mean, if I think publishers do take advantage of passionate developers. I think there's no other way of putting it. It's just how it is these days.
Well, and I think a lot of publishers they've lost the connection of being about gaming and being a part of the community. For them, it really is the bottom line, and that's why I think we're ripe for disruption, and especially from fans. If fans start demanding more from their games, and start really asking the tough questions of why aren't we seeing these great small indie publishers, getting financing, but we have these other mega projects that are getting released and they're just crap. As a community and as gamers, we can and we should start demanding better. And it starts with all of us. So, again,
preach on, brother Kevin. Preach on.
I'll try to do what
honestly,
I can.
Yeah, honestly, I think of the past years that have games that have come out from indie developers, there's been a clear advantage to being independent in the project you want to make, being passionate in the vision you want to have, and the community will always back you. And this is a prime example why I think 83 is gonna kick ass.
Yep.
Let's
right there
fucking
with
go.
you.
Okay.
Right, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Well, thank you guys. I know we're all on different times, and I really appreciate getting everyone. We didn't get Sturt on this one, but I'm sure maybe next time we'll get everyone. I think it'd be funny to see Sturt come on after hearing all the talk about him. So
I
if
hope he
everyone
doesn't
who's
mind.
yeah, right. So everyone that's listening, if you could follow us on Discord, you'll get all the information we put out, especially as we're ramping up development. We have YouTube, we have Twitter, I think. We have Twitter now? Yeah, we got Twitter now. So please let us know your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe. If you guys want to reach out to me or anyone on the team, we're all in Discord. We're just, at message us. We're pretty friendly most of the time. So yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Davis.
Thanks, everybody.